Oh,
What up, good people?
indeed.
We're
Conscious
back.
intercourse, right?
Conscious intercourse.
Another again. Where we consciously intertwine and share our experiences to accelerate our spiritual evolution,
Higher consciousness, absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
It's all about the peoples. It's all about elevating.
Sharing
And
experiences and wisdom to help, get us to higher understanding of who we are as a
yeah,
people, right?
awaken our inner being,
That's
right?
right.
That godness within us,
And
the
have these
higher self,
conversations
right?
that, everybody don't have. Not everybody's comfortable having in the community, right? That's what we do. Put it out there.
The
Let's
things that
talk
people don't
about
want to
it.
talk about, right? The things that bring pain, bring
Triggers that trigger
yeah,
trauma.
just trauma, yeah,
Trauma
those
triggers.
T words.
You know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's what we do. We have good conversation with good people,
Yes,
who don't mind sharing and helping us with this mission,
definitely.
right?
Yes, and
Speaking of that,
right?
and speaking of that,
Yes.
we have an awesome guest today who's going to help us do exactly that, who got some wisdom and
Deep dive,
some
right?
knowledge and some experience on some things, right?
Yes, ascend, right? This gonna be interesting, right?
Who we talk about, Armand? Who we talk about? Who we
Man,
got in the building today?
got my man Don Cannon in the house. You know what I'm
Don
saying?
Cannon,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Cannon.
man. Appreciate you having you, bro.
No doubt, bro.
Man,
What's
this is
up? What's up, man?
yeah, it's a great day.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely,
been
the
in the making for a
legendary.
minute.
Most definitely, right?
Yeah. We've been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, we've been chopping it up for a minute about having you on and come and just share your wisdom, your insights, your experiences. And how that intertwines with all of our collective spiritual evolution, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Yes, for those few people out there that don't know about you, man, just tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and
Oh man, I don't like to say I'm old because my brain will hear it and think I'm old. But I've been around a little bit longer than a lot of people think I have. You know what I mean? Been around 25 years doing this in the music business. I started somewhere around 2001 in the clubs in Atlanta and doing
ATL.
like Whitney Houston's birthday parties and Shaq's birthday parties.
What?
And just all the way up to producing some of my first records with Young Jeezy and Jay-Z.
Oh wow.
And and just moving around, man, all the way into now, just having my own artist, my own establishment, and moving to the next levels of tech and music, which is I started an app called Tomorrow App. So
Oh man,
those are the things that we're moving into.
You said a
And
tech app.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's tech.
Tell us a little bit more about it.
So it's a marketing place for creators and clients to meet,
Uh-huh.
and basically it started off with us trying to help creatives make money and stay
Okay.
in their field. And what's happening a lot now is that creatives. So I had this pain point. There's two pain points. One pain point was when I was going to speak to people, they would ask questions at the end. They'd raise their hand and say, "Yo, so how do I get on?" And I always didn't have the right answer for it. I always be like, "Man, just keep working harder. You're going to get there." That just feels like a flea off answer. You know what I mean? So I wanted to come up with a concept where I can be like, "Hey, go here."
Okay.
That's where.
Here's the blueprint. This
There
is
you
what
go.
you do.
And then another one with Kayla,
Yeah.
which started with her friend doing DoorDash,
Okay.
and she was a stylist and she was doing these movie sets, but the jobs were not consistent enough, so she had a DoorDash to make money. And we're just trying to get people to stay in their field, help their dreams go through, and just give them a little structure to their business as well.
Okay.
A pay schedule. Most creatives get burnt out of money, or they have to get on like a net 30 or net 50 and don't have enough to pay rent or whatever they have to do,
Right.
just to get them in a space where you get paid as early as tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's where the
Ah.
whole thing started with us. It initially started in like a bigger space where it could be a water company, it could be somebody that makes paintings. But as I was moving out in the world, everybody wanted to know about music and music business.
Right.
So I was like, hey, we need to make a pivot into the music business
Okay.
so that I can help, explain to people exactly what it was. Like I can't really help somebody that's manufacturing candy because it's just not my world. But I know how to do it within music.
Right.
So that's just what the app is about.
Okay.
And it's just a new world, you know. It's tech, so you're dealing with technology all the time. You're dealing with education, how to
Yes.
get people into this space to be able to use this to get their money, to use it as a portfolio to show off their work.
Right.
So you know that's basically what it is.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's real
like
dope.
one of the things that I always said is like helping people monetize their talents. Right?
there you go.
There's a lot of people that are talented, but they just don't,
Don't
know
know
how
what
to
to
actually
do.
monetize it because that's where the coin starving artist comes from. Like these
Yeah.
artists are talented, they're dope, but they're starving because they don't know how to truly monetize, and get
Right.
exposure and get people to find them to.
And some artists really want to focus on just their artistry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get caught up into the business side of things, it really takes attention off
That's
your
right.
art.
That's right.
So you need a team. You need people like yourself
That's right.
to help guide and
That's
help
right.
facilitate these
That's
things.
right. That's giving back to the community. You know,
Exactly.
I don't want to leave out this game taking and not giving. So
That's
a lot of
right.
it be given. So
That's right.
yeah,
And that's awesome. We talk about, the evolution of hip hop and, and that not just hip hop as a genre of music, but just as a mentality,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it's a fine example of that. You can take that and do so many things with that because that's where it comes from. That's
Right.
that's the startup.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And helping other people see that it's bigger than that. It's
That's
a
right.
culture. It's
That's right. That's right.
So that's
It's a way of life.
It's a
like you
way
said,
of
right?
life.
It's a culture. That's why you said you got to give back because there's
Yeah.
people here that that are working and trying to feed their families and provide for themselves. So this is kind of creating a whole ecosystem, another term, right?
Right.
To where you
Yeah.
could actually support people behind the culture. Right?
Still
'Cause this-
doing what you
yeah.
love to do,
Yeah.
right? Still doing.
Yeah,
I
what
think
you
it's
love
God given that I was blessed with the talent to pass creating
to- Yeah.
and be able to handle business. That's
Right.
Yeah.
that's a gift in itself.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you're handling a business and you're dealing with people that don't have that talent, but they have the other things, you definitely want to help as many people as you can get to that level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard enough being able to draw and
Yeah.
trying to turn it around like, hey, you like this?
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And some people don't have the salesman for it. They don't have,
the personality for
there
it.
you go. And social media has spoiled us in that space where we invited everybody to look at this painting, and then when it's time to buy, it's like, I could just look at it on the internet.
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So
Straight up.
I'm trying to
Exactly.
turn it into monetizing for us, especially
Yeah.
being a person of color and black, just being able to help us get there. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's very
That's very
conscious of you,
commendable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very conscious of you
Absolutely.
because we need like leaders such as yourselves.
Yeah.
Those are those pioneers that are like, what, I've had opportunities. I figured it out. Like you said, you were blessed with the gifts
Yep.
to be able to be where you are. But now it's like figuring out how to give back to the community.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Yeah, a lot of the people we looked up to, and I might be speaking from an older space, Martin, Malcolm,
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey, Stevie Wonder, all these guys, like even up to today, they still hold a certain morale.
Yeah.
And like even today, I had a call about Stevie Wonder. We used one of the samples for a record we had with Nipsey Hussle,
Okay.
and it got denied today. And it got denied because Stevie went to Sony for the clearance and say, hey, we don't use any records that are derogatory, have cuss
wow.
words, anything.
Oh,
If they can clean the record up,
Yes.
I'll allow it to be cleared for that pride. And it's like, that's the type of stuff that we're still holding on to. I was speaking to another young lady. She was wearing long skirts.
Yes.
And times have changed, but I was asking her, why do you wear so many long skirts
Yes.
in the field? And her whole thing was, hey, as a black woman, I'm still fighting to get the respect of men in business. And that answer really threw me off. Of course, because I went into a whole,
right?
I went into a whole thought process.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know because, most women that are working in our business, in the music business,
Yes.
are stronger women.
Yes.
And they do as they please,
Yeah.
whatever they want to do. And I'm used to that. I'm used to it coming off that.
Exactly.
But I'm also not used to outside of the business women trying to still break barriers and having to go through that just
Exactly.
because of
Right.
the look down upon that
Exactly.
is happening.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
interesting you bring that up. And today being first day of March of Women Empowerment Month.
That's right. Yes, it is.
Damn, I
Yes,
forgot.
it is.
I forgot. I
Right?
brought it up though.
Literally,
Yes,
You know
it
what I mean?
is.
I literally had a conversation with two accountant ladies, friends of mine. One CPA and another CMA, and they were telling me the same thing because in accounting, you have the big four, like the big four enterprises, right?
Yeah.
KPMG, Ernst Young, and such.
Yeah.
And they were telling me how women, because typically to get your CPA license, you take the test and you have to get like a supervisor to sign off on your license.
Yes.
They were telling me how women still have to like perform favors to actually get people to sign off on their licenses.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're
Yeah, yeah, I remember
CPAs
that
in these
conversation.
professional
Yeah.
corporate America,
Yeah.
organizations, they still have to perform favors.
Yeah.
You know, to get-
As I'm growing as a man,
that's
not to
deep.
cut you off, as I'm growing as a man, I'm starting to learn in the business as well.
Yeah.
One of these guys, his name is Saad. He's from Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
and he's over there, and they're trying to build up movies, and they're trying to build up like the music business over there for all the talented artists they have. And he's dope, and he's just grinding it out. And I was like, man, you dope. I want to help you build that out there,
Yeah.
because some of the stuff that they had, the rules they had to live by so many years, like women weren't allowed to drive, you know what I'm saying, or kids can't do certain things, or just the barriers are starting to break where
Definitely.
laws are changing and things like that. And it's like, man, they don't have PRO system. PRO system is how you collect your money and
Exactly.
how we get to distribution for people to hear the music. I want to be part of different countries getting to that space. I want to help,
Correct.
because that's again,
Yeah.
I grew up in Islamic Christian type of space,
Okay. Gotcha.
and a lot of the stuff I'm doing is like I have to help somewhere. Like,
Okay.
I'm helping here, but like who else needs help? Like,
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's what's up.
That's
So,
what we're supposed to be
you
of
know,
service. That's,
Yeah,
you
so I've
know.
been wanting to just like go to different countries, but I just been building with my guy, and he dope producer, I'm dope producer, and I just want to get over and just kind of help. Like I see Swiss Beats out there, and he's helping.
Okay.
They brought
That's
Lil
what's up.
Wayne out there. It's just building up more
Yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
it's different now. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, the way this world works, like.
Because it's global, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a global evolution that's underway. That's
Absolutely.
part of what we talk about on this, particular program is the conscious intercourse, right? Because we are consciously evolving,
Right.
And we have to become aware of what's happening, and it's happening globally. Like the technology, internet, has interconnected us, from a global scale. Because before, you were just living in your own little world. You didn't know what was going on the other side of the world,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
But now
it's in your face.
Africa's on fire.
Yeah.
Like
On
so many
fire,
emerging
yeah.
African artists.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
From
Afrobeats
Ghana to
is
Nigeria.
off the
Afrobeats is
chain
it right
right
now.
now.
Everybody want to
Taking
do
over,
Afrobeats
man.
right
Incredible.
now.
So,
Yeah.
and I feel like music is the one thing that connects everybody.
It is.
Yo.
It's that universal
Period.
language.
Yo.
You're sad, you can listen to something that'll change your life in 1 second.
will.
Just like
If
that.
you're mad, it'll change your life in 1 second.
Straight
So
up.
I feel like we need to start connecting these dots and building olive branches,
Yeah.
so people have those abilities. Like it's like seeing people not have any tools to make nothing is whack to me.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Yeah.
I want to be a part of like, that's going to be my philanthropy, is just helping people get there. I never wanted to be like, here's $10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's
Right.
$100. I wanted to give you the tool to make
There you go.
$100,000.
There
You know
you
what I'm saying?
go.
So that's
Yeah.
just me. You know what I mean?
I love that, man, because it's like, he says you lead a horse to the water,
Yeah.
but you can make him drink, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
it's the other one. What's the other one? You take somebody to the fish.
Oh, yeah.
Give them
yeah.
fish, they can eat, but you teach them how to fish,
Fish,
they can
they
feed.
eat
Eat
forever, right?
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
Something
are,
like that.
yeah. No, it's close enough.
It's close enough,
But
but
no-
yes,
no
that's it.
cigar,
Give them the
but-
tools. Give them the tools to,
Yep. Yep.
to use them and to teach other people
Mm-hmm.
how to do. That's what it's about. So what people in the industry do you personally look up to? Has there been anyone who mentored you, who like helped you through it?
Yeah, it's been a few people. No ID was a legendary producer. He came
Okay.
out with Common. He
Yeah.
Okay.
mentored Kanye West. He's one of the guys. I don't call him a mentor. I call him more of my brother. It's
Okay.
like a
Okay.
family member.
Right.
And you know how you sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, when you have older brothers, they teach you the ropes.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have, younger brothers you can learn from, or it's
Yeah.
older sisters that show you things. I look at him as like one of those guys, and he's taken risks and did things before I got there. So
Okay.
he's like, yo, listen, I did that before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or yo, I'm gonna show you how to do that.
Yeah.
And the same thing with me. He learned like, yo, so look, I don't know how to market this.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, this is how you do it.
That's
So
what's
it's
up.
like, it's a shared process of,
Yes.
Game of Thrones honor
Right.
type thing we got going on. So he's one of them. Let me see. I listen to some people, but
Yeah.
for different things.
Gotcha.
Like I may
Gotcha.
listen to Rick Rubin for what he's doing on the mentor side.
Okay.
I listen to Quincy Jones for a mentor side.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm
Quincy.
saying?
Oh,
Quincy,
absolutely.
legendary, right?
There's a couple basketball players that know exactly what they're doing. LeBron is probably one of them that I listen to.
Most definitely.
Carmelo's like one I listen to.
Melo.
But yeah, it's just a collective of people.
Yeah.
Like, I never had a real conversation with Jay-Z, even though I've done records for him. But in passing, I know if I have a conversation, they had to do
Yeah.
take 500,000 on dinner with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The conversation with me and him will be a good conversation to have because, I have a lot of questions about climbing the ladder as, a black person.
Most definitely.
And how to bob and weave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of people like and it's crazy to say because I can learn from somebody right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just I'm a sponge. I just pick up on things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
so,
what's up.
So what do you think empowers you with that that mindset, that mentality to know that, hey, I could learn from anybody, to not be so arrogant as to, look at somebody and say, hey, they have nothing to teach me, nothing to learn from.
Being hard headed when I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was young, I had a temper. I got in a lot of trouble. I went to fight. I was
What?
doing things. Only thing I didn't steal was steal cars and all that.
Oh, wow.
Anything else, I was crazy. You know what
from
I'm saying?
Philly.
But
you from Philly?
Yeah, from Philly.
I'm from Philly.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
That's
Philly
what's up.
thing. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Philly.
Philly,
Okay.
Philly.
Yes. Yeah. So
Wow.
so that's just what just being in those neighborhoods. I grew up
Yes.
in West Philadelphia.
West
and,
Philly.
Okay.
Okay.
my mom was always the one to try to get me to go to different neighborhoods. So I would go to like South Philly,
Okay.
and when I went to South Philly, it was like dangerous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was two different parts. The so-called mob was there,
Okay.
and it was crazy. And I was just
Wow.
going to play basketball.
Yeah.
And I think that I carried that all the way to college, and I moved around, and I was the SHIT. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was like, man, I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do any state. We
Right.
we can
That's that
survive.
Philly attitude.
Yeah, we
That's
can
that
survive
Philly
at any
attitude.
You
state.
can make it in Philly. You can
Yeah,
make it anywhere.
anywhere.
Right?
Period. Right. You know,
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
there you
right?
go.
You can make
Yeah,
it.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's right. That's
You
right.
know about that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's
I know a
right.
little bit. You know what I'm saying? I've been
Yeah.
around the block.
Stop.
Yeah, so
funny.
yeah, so that's what made me like I am
Right.
because I came to college.
Right.
I got in some trouble. I went to jail twice.
Okay.
One of them was like running out the restaurant
Silly
at
stuff.
IHOP. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
yeah.
One was
Silly
like
stuff.
a panty raid or some weird shit
Oh,
at
what?
school.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
they had a panty raid at school. I was on some Philly.
The-
I
the
ain't going no
panty raid,
panty
huh?
raid, right?
Right.
And they wound up. I ain't going to panty raid, but what happened
Okay.
was one of the guys tore up a dorm, and he was
Oh,
tall,
man.
light skinned. So all the lady said was a tall,
Oh,
light skinned
no.
guy
Oh, man.
came to the dorm and messed up. And
Damn.
He was profiled.
yeah, so I went to court, and then when they had the judge, she was like, "He's not the one." I'm like, "Yeah, I was in the jail for 2 days for this." You know what I mean?
Dang.
So once you start seeing that, and then it also helps to be an AUC center because
Yeah.
when you
nah,
have those schools directly outside
straight up.
is the hood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
the
have
West
projects.
End, man. The West End is straight gutter.
So
here in
you have
Atlanta.
projects
Yeah.
on surrounding all the schools.
Yeah.
So when you're leaving out and you're seeing the struggle, it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you better
Humbles
tame.
you.
Yeah, you better tame your attitude, like
Yeah.
how you move. Like you can't be out here like
You
I'm
could be
Philly.
touched easily.
That's all I'm saying.
Easily.
So then they were homeless people.
Yeah.
They were like, we start seeing older ladies that's pushing carts, dudes wanting money. We didn't have the money to give them, but it
Right.
was just like we knew them now. Like Chicago was one of the guys that was out there. He was just homeless forever, but he
Wow.
became one of the homeboys of the school.
Wow.
So everybody's like, Chicago on campus. You'll throw them a cookie
Yeah.
or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just,
Deep, man.
years of that will lead you to be like, and then I slipped up a couple times when we first got our, big money around 2005, and we were just rolling and rolling, rolling. We started not liking each other. The
Yeah.
money made us part. All those things develop into, yo, what you gonna do with your life, bro?
Right.
Like,
up.
you know what I mean? How you gonna treat people?
Right.
And then, I softened up a little bit. Coming from Philly, the
Yeah.
word soft is a terrible word. It means that
Fight
you're a softy.
words.
No, straight
Fight
up,
words.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it means that you pretty much sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much was like, hey man, soft ain't a bad word. You can be soft and still be alpha male. You
Straight
just
up.
gotta really be able to do things within your reach.
Straight
You
up.
know what I mean? So that's where I became a little bit more humble and just stayed in that space, because it's like, man, you can learn from anybody instead
That's
of
right.
being
Man.
retarded.
That's
No,
right.
no, that's really, really powerful, because you drops a lot of nuggets there, especially about the facet of being soft
Yeah.
as an alpha male, right? Unfortunately, the society and how we've been conditioned and brought up is that, as a man, you're supposed to be hard, right?
Yep.
You're supposed to be this, gangster. We watch movies to see all these, you hear gangster rappers, right? It's all about being hard, rigid, right? But ultimately, life has shown us that things that are hard and rigid break, easily, right?
Yeah.
Like a oak tree breaks in a storm, right?
Yep.
And technically, things that survive and last long are everlasting are soft, like palm trees. They can, when a storm comes in, they're, they can bend,
bendable.
they're flexible, they're blendable. Water, right?
Exactly.
Like Bruce Lee said, be like
Be
water,
like
my
water.
friend, right?
That's right.
We
Conforming.
being soft actually allows us to propel further, to
Yeah.
live longer,
And
to
adapt.
last and adapt and
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah, again, being
And-
from Philly is just
yeah.
it's tough, because a lot of the stuff comes from our childhood trauma.
Yep.
I woke up, I grew up, I saw dead people from 11 years old to 15. You know what I'm saying? So you see
Yeah.
those things, you could either be desensitized and be
Yep.
hard all the way, but then you grow up, you meet females, you can't really progress in a relationship because you can't open up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't. So that
Emotionally
requires
unavailable.
having a soft side to be able to say, hey, I'm in this space because I saw this when I was young, or
Correct.
this happened to me, or my family members don't treat me the way I want to,
Mm-hmm.
or I didn't, I didn't do well in school, that bothered me, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
my family has high expectations. So when you're getting that space, it allows you to be that person. Like, I
Exactly.
can come here and open up and be
Mm-hmm.
completely comfortable. Some people feel like they're dying when they're opening up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I wanted to be the person. I wanted to be the best me, to identify everything that's happening
Correct.
in my life and why it's happening.
Right.
If I don't like birds, I know why it happened.
Right.
I can't say I don't know why I like birds. That's the Philly mentality,
Exactly.
right?
Right. I just
I
don't.
know, yeah. I can say I don't like birds because there was a nest in the tree that I went and a bird bit me at 11, and now I don't like birds for that reason.
Right.
Got you.
So I need to. I like to identify every little thing. Anything that bothers me, why did that bother me?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's because of that. You know?
Yep. And that's where's
Yeah.
the root? Find that root
There you
cause,
go.
where it come from.
There you
And
go.
a lot of it, like you said, it come from learned behavior, our parents' trauma
There
that
you
they
go.
just pass on to us.
Yep.
And we don't even know.
Yep.
And we just keep creating and mimicking these behaviors.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
Yeah.
creating and
Yeah.
repeating trauma.
And they're deeply embedded in our subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So they're actually are driving our lives
Yep.
constantly every single day without us actually being aware of it. So that's what we talk about a lot of times about being conscious. Because being conscious of, like you said, your feelings, your emotions, your
Yep.
thought patterns, like
Yep.
actually understanding what's driving them, then you could be able to make consciously decisions on how you're going to move in life.
Yep.
Because it says by the time we're like, 30 years old, 95% of what we do is unconscious.
That's right.
Like literally, we're just like almost in the same way that a computer runs a program.
Yep.
Or the other way around. Yeah, a program runs on a computer. However, right?
Right.
The same way is how we
We are
as human
programmed.
beings are when we get to a certain point in our lives. We're just unconsciously just moving, just
Yep.
doing things.
Yeah.
So you're treating people a certain type of way. You're having these issues with, with women or vice versa. Your partner.
Yep.
You don't even know why you're doing them because you've been driven by, like you said, what happened 25, 15, 10
Yep.
years ago. And it's unconsciously driving you. So when we become conscious of who we are, right, we then can really create the type of lives that we desire.
Yeah, that's an interesting statement, because I just learned that with my mother. She calls me, and when I get on the phone, the first thing she says is, what's wrong? And I'll
Right.
be like, Ma, nothing's
Why,
wrong.
why,
What-
why gotta be
exactly.
wrong?
Why did you say
Yeah.
that? She said, well, you're frowning. No, I'm not.
No, yeah, that's a maternal thing. Like mothers, and we feel stuff. Like
Feel
it
it.
depends on what time you call too. Because if you call too late, it's like, hold on.
Right.
You
She
know,
said,
usually
just 3
call,
o'clock in
like-
the afternoon. What's wrong? Mom, that's how you greet me? You know what I mean?
I'm
Yes.
just checking on you.
So I actually, on the topic, I jumped in and I asked her, I said, I want to get to the root of something. Why you always ask me what's wrong?
Yes.
So she said, we got deep. She didn't want to say anything. That she got deep and was like, all I ever wanted for you was for you to have a great job, have a family, and live well and be healthy. And you did all this crazy stuff and still ended up here.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how you did it and why. So she still has the fact that if I'm going to be okay,
yeah.
if I risk
Yeah.
this or I take
Yeah.
this risk or I do this. So you're speaking
Yeah.
on conscious. Her
Yeah.
conscious is basically saying, what's wrong?
Exactly.
Nothing's wrong, Ma. I got up. I'm healthy. I
Yeah.
jogged. I boxed. You know what I mean? And I'm going to
Exactly.
see Armand. Like, everything's
Right,
fine.
right.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, straight up.
Why you ask that? Why I'm just asking. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I got to the bottom of that, and hopefully
Dang, that's so
we can
funny.
move forward from the what's wrong? Like,
Right.
Yeah, because I say that to you sometimes when you say what's right.
Yeah, what's
know?
right? Like, yeah,
What's
let's change
right?
our
Like,
mentality,
Right,
I'm just
right,
saying.
right.
We have to consciously be aware of our words,
Yeah.
especially the power of
Right.
our words,
Yeah.
which kind of leads us to, what we were talked about, a few weeks ago when you and I ran into each other. Literally, the power of the mind, right?
Yes, sir.
Because ultimately, our words, our thoughts, right? Although most of the times they're unconscious, they actually create the energies around us.
That's right.
Yeah.
They actually
Our reality.
impact our reality, including our
Absolutely.
health, right?
Everything.
Our well-being, our relationships, our spirituality, like literally our ability to make money
Yep.
and attract money, like literally
Starts
our
with how we
thoughts
think.
and on our mind impacts everything
1,000%.
that we see around us,
1,000%.
Yeah.
right? Whether we're aware or not aware of it. So it's up to the person that knows that they are a total sum of their thoughts.
Yes, sir.
Like literally, like we could all look at each other in this particular point in time, and we are the total sum of our thoughts.
That's right. It's tough too because as a human, we're not robots. As a human,
Yeah.
we naturally are going to think something bad.
Yeah.
It's just natural.
It's
Exactly.
a defense
It's
mechanism.
natural. Yes,
Yeah.
defense. But
Correct.
I heard this line. I don't know where I was traveling, but I was in a space where it was
Yeah.
some big money man, and a person told me, "Your mentality is your reality." Right.
Yeah.
And once I heard that, I started changing my reality because of what I was thinking. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mean I can just go and make a bad choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
It's just my mental changed into, I'll give you an example. In 2017, they didn't see, 16, I'm sorry. They didn't know what Uzi was going to be as an artist.
Okay.
They just saw a young kid from Philly with pink hair or whatever they thought of him.
Exactly.
And my whole mentality was build this up to be the biggest artist you can possibly make him. And they was coming in like, so what's going to happen in the year? I said, we're going to get nominated for a Grammy. It was like, bro, stop. What are you talking? Why are you just saying anything?
Yeah.
And top of 17, he was nominated for a Grammy.
See?
Man.
So it's stuff like that there. I said, oh, I'm in control of my brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in control around my surroundings. So I just say things like, I want this. And
Yes.
I mean it. And then it just happens. You know what
That's
I mean?
but you mean it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
gotta
I
mean it. Don't
Yeah.
just say it.
Yeah, you got to be
gotta
convicted.
mean
You got to
it.
be
That's
convicted in
right.
it. And,
That's the
and you know what I
difference.
mean?
Yep.
A lot of people, the indictment of things, you know what I mean? And just
Exactly.
where people want to just say stuff, I really mean things I'm saying. You know, I'll tell about this story the other day. So some young kids in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, we were talking about all the bad things we've done. And I was like, man, every time when I was young, I used to pray, be like, God, if you get me out of this, I never do this
do it
again.
again.
Do it again.
Right,
I
but then
remember
go
that.
back to doing it, right?
Exactly.
So in my later years, now I'm here.
Yeah.
If it comes to that, it hasn't in a long time. If it comes to that,
Yeah.
I make a pact with God that I'm really never going to do it again.
Straight up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm with you.
You get me out of this
Yeah.
jam from
I
eating this
promise I
candy,
won't go
Yeah.
back.
I'm good. And I stick to it because I believe in that creating a space in my mind to really manifest
Correct.
not doing something. You know what I mean? So that's just where I'm at consciously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's real, bro.
Even down to health. Like
Look,
we were
yeah.
in a health space just trying to,
Yeah.
you know, get our lives right. As we get older, they always throw this on you as black males. You're gonna get diabetes. You're gonna get
Exactly,
high
right.
blood pressure.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Be
cancer.
obese. You just
Get
gonna be
checked
fat,
out.
yeah.
And when you're 50, when you're 52,
Right.
like
Yeah.
although I believe in some of it,
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drain myself thinking about it. I'm
That's
gonna
right.
do the things that help. If you're saying this is gonna help that, I'm going
Yeah.
at that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
I'm gonna
right.
do that.
Preventative
I'm-
measures, right?
There
Like,
you go.
okay. Well,
There you
maybe it runs in the family because everybody in the family kept doing the same thing.
I
So if
and
I
one
stop
thing I
doing
can't,
things,
yeah, that's one
it's
thing
a
I can't.
stop.
When they said your family's history, I don't see that. That's like if I hate saying it, but my mom was, let's say my sister was fat,
Yeah.
and my family's fat. That means I'm gonna be fat? No,
No.
I'm athletic build. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's not the same thing, but anybody that's older believes that. Well, your family history, you're gonna get it because your
Exactly.
grandfather had.
Yeah.
Your
That's
grandfather
that
smoked
mimicking
cigarettes.
stuff, and that's what we say.
You
That's
gotta
how our,
change
our
Yeah.
community is.
But that's the thing. The mind, the body is so powerful. The mind, the brain, it's so powerful. I remember I read this book years ago,
Yeah.
Secret of the Ancients, and it talked about how the only reason we age is because we believe in aging, the concept of aging.
Yep.
Like literally, your brain is like this genie in the lamp. And it's like, whatever you tell me is what I'm going to believe and do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
literally, every day you wake up, whatever you tell yourself, your mind and brain is actually going to do that and create that as your reality. So
Yeah.
we believe in aging because the body's really made to live eternally, forever.
Yeah.
Right? Because the cells replenish itself every 7 years. And the body, I mean,
Yeah.
24 hours, certain cells regenerate themselves. Like,
Yeah.
literally, you have a whole completing a new body every 7 years.
Yeah,
So-
I'm literally changing my
Yeah.
thought now. I was
Yeah.
with somebody,
Yeah.
and they was like, "Yo, so what's up?" I said, "Man, I'm old." And you know what he said to me?
You going
He said, "If you keep saying you're old, your body
Yep.
gonna believe it." So I
Yeah.
said, when he said that, it was so powerful for me. I said, "Oh,
Oh, snap.
snap!" So I
Like,
just
shit,
stopped
I'm
saying.
young.
I'm saying it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Stop
I'd be like, I'm
saying
young.
that.
But
Forever
also,
young.
also the law of attraction. It's not
Yes.
even just what you believe; it's also what you fear.
That's right.
Because if you're constantly thinking about it and it's on your mind, you're
right.
going to attract that to you.
That's right.
That very thing that you're trying to prevent is
Yeah.
what you're going to attract to
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
So that's how powerful the mind is. You
That's
know?
right.
It is.
That's right.
It is. Actually, before we got on, we were talking about artists who have fell into poverty,
Yes.
right? I wonder, did they have a fear of poverty?
Yeah.
No.
Even though they were wealthy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, what you
Most
think about that?
well, what I think, and I'm
Yeah.
willing to challenge anybody that will challenge my statement. I'm willing
Yeah.
to think that most creatives that go broke are people that don't care about money. They care about what they're giving,
Their
Their
artistry.
passion.
right? So these are a couple examples. We were talking about Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
how, and this may just be what the people are saying,
Yeah.
but for what finance and when he went to court, they were saying he died in debt, like $500 million.
Yeah.
If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. I'm just going off what is there. And he built up things to pay the debt back, but he lived in so much a lavish lifestyle
Correct.
that a lot of stuff was just dwindling down on his money.
Yes.
They talk about how much Kanye lost, right?
Exactly.
And he was a billionaire. Now he's not a billionaire.
Yeah.
I don't think, again, I'm willing to challenge anybody that goes against it. I don't think that those people care about money. They care about progression.
Indeed.
A lot of people, like even our own art, like even my own artist, Uzi, he said he
Yeah.
don't care about money. And
that's
and when he
powerful.
says that, I'm just like, maybe those artists don't. Pamela Anderson, it was a documentary I wouldn't watch. I
Yeah.
happen to watch it.
I keep
Yeah.
looking past it. I'm like,
Yeah,
eh.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was, only time I turn the TV on is for Law and Order and documentaries.
Law and
Law,
Order.
Law and Order helped me go to sleep. Documentaries helped me learn. So I
Yeah.
turn on a documentary. I was like, I will
Yeah.
not watch this, but I'm going to watch Pamela.
Straight
And when
up.
it came on, I was just moving through it. I'm like, I don't know. I just kept watching it.
Yeah.
But what I learned from her is she was so in love with what she was doing that money didn't bother her.
Wow.
Because when the sex tape came out, they offered her like 75 million or something to say okay, they can distribute it,
Yeah.
and she turned it down
Wow.
based on moral how she felt about herself. Even though she did Playboy, even though she did all these things,
It was
and
on
even
her
though
terms.
she had kids, one son is 25, the other's like 20 something,
Yeah.
and they even seen the stuff that she had to go through, and to
Exactly.
this day, she still turns down the money for the rights of the
Wow.
porno.
Wow.
And it's like, wow, some of those people
Wow.
just don't care about money.
Yeah.
Money is a tool for them
Yeah.
to do whatever they want, and that's how some people think. Um, I don't necessarily think money is everything, but you can use those as tools. I feel like money flows in,
Correct.
money flows out.
That's right.
As it flows out, it's going into something. I often think about how when I pay people,
Yeah.
God put me in a position to pay them because they need the money, or that's what they prayed for.
Exactly.
So those things cross my mind when money's flowing in and flowing out. Like,
Mm.
oh, I made this money because God knew I could pay them.
That's right.
Exactly.
Put
You
you,
know
in
what
a
I'm saying?
position
So-
to be a blessing.
You know, and it's a weird way to think, but that's just how I think. Like,
that's
I'm
a
in
powerful way to
position.
s-
I'm
yeah.
positioned to help somebody with
That's
some
right.
monetary space because I was able to get it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's easy for me to pay. I don't know what that person. Nobody's gonna go. It's like, bro, you don't know what you did. You saved my life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did, and that happened to be a true story. I was coming out the airport, and this guy was selling the CDs. Like, bro, I'm homeless, but I got these CDs.
Yeah.
And I think I had like $100 bill in my wallet. I was holding on to this $100 bill forever, bro. I don't
Yeah.
like, why is it still in my wallet? You know, I
Exactly.
never used it. I wound up saying, here, I gave him the $100. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't need the CD. Just, get yourself together, right?
Yeah.
I'm carrying my bags. I go to the car. This is like 2016 or 17. Time goes by. I ain't even thinking about this at
Yeah.
all. This $100. This Christmas, I was at the Wines and Spirits, the
Okay.
wine shop, and I was going to get like champagne for the holidays.
Yeah.
And the guy came up, and he was with his wife.
Oh wow.
And he came up to me and was like, yo, bro, I know you don't remember me, but you gave me $100 outside the airport. That
Wow.
kick-started my crib. That kick-started my car. I got a job
Wow.
right now off that kickstart. And it blew me because I did, when he said it,
$100? Like,
Deep,
and
bro.
so
Never
when he
know.
said it to
Same.
me, I remember exactly
when you did
when
it.
I did it. And he was like, bro, I want to buy your champagne. I was like, nah,
Aw.
you
Right.
good. I'm good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But his
Yeah.
wife was like, look, and I guess he had never told her this story.
That's so
Wow.
And he was just looking at me like, she was like, what's going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
deep. Wow.
But it's just it's just those type of things where you don't know what you're doing.
let them
Exactly.
use you.
Yeah, there's money flows in, money flows out.
That's
Hard
right.
times, you hate it. You got to think about like, damn, I can't pay for this or I can't do that.
Yeah.
But again, money flows in, money flows
Because
out.
you always get through it, don't you?
Yeah, it's been some times where I didn't want to spend some money,
Yeah.
and then the next day it was like, that check wasn't supposed to come
You
in
know
with
what I'm
it.
saying? But
Straight up, yeah.
exactly.
You know?
Or you get a blessing from somewhere like,
There you
see, you
go.
know what? And
There
I'm
you go.
worrying for nothing.
There you
Straight
go.
up.
You
So
know?
you just gotta live, man, and just go with the rules.
Yeah, like really tap into your purpose.
Yeah.
That's right.
As part of the collective.
That's
right.
right.
Because we got to keep the energy flowing. Because
There you
we
go.
are energy. We talked about energy being in everything.
Yeah.
So we got to constantly keep that energy flow going.
That's right. That's right.
So it's like so the power of our thoughts create our reality. So we are aware of that. But then it's almost like we got to be very in tune and actually be very intentional,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And careful about wisely choosing our thoughts.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Right? Because ultimately, like you said, even to the point where we don't care about the money, where we
Yeah.
trust that like we are here. We've been brought here. We came here from nothing, right? Nowhere.
Yep.
And our entire evolution from sperm to an egg
Yes,
to
sir.
turn into this miraculous human being
Yep.
was miraculous, right? So we come from this perfection. Right, then we come out and worry about where we're gonna get our next meal from, right? How we're gonna pay
Right.
our next rent. When
Exactly.
our entire manifestation, our entire being here was miraculous.
That's right.
So why isn't everything else miraculous as well, right? So we got to learn to live these miraculous
That's
lives,
right.
right?
That's right.
So even when I learned about the placebo effect, right? I kind of had a conversation about how you have some people that just don't stress, don't worry about stuff, right? I'm vegan. I believe in eating a plant-based lifestyle, but a lot of times I chose it because I believe that eating more plants, less meat or no meat is actually healthier.
Yep.
But then you got people out there that can eat however they want to eat,
That's
right?
Live forever.
And live forever. But it's like,
That's
why am I feeling like I must eat this way to be able to be healthy, right?
Yep.
And others are just doing whatever, right? They have, they make whatever choices in life. They treat people a certain type of way. They don't carry those worries and those stresses.
Yep.
So I'm like, is is it mostly just about what you believe? Like literally, it's almost like nothing. The whole saying is like, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, do we, like you said, do we just live and not just eat my
You could-
steaks
you
and eat my
could-
eggs and just not worry about it? Eat
You
my
could.
bacon.
We're,
You know
we're
what I'm
on,
saying?
we're on borrowed time,
Right.
and everybody's makeup is different. So
Yeah.
This is true.
I may eat a steak and
Yeah.
turn into a hoblet and be fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might not. I've seen it.
Right.
I talked to my doctor,
Yeah.
a holistic doctor, and he's like, man, there's people like right now.
Yeah.
My grandma, she did everything you possibly could do wrong,
Yeah.
and she's 95. Walk in the hallway.
See?
She walks her hallway up and down, eats an apple a day.
Yeah.
She's living. They smoke cigarettes, they drank, they do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I got homies that play football and almost died on the field passing out. So
Yeah.
it's all what you want to do. If you feel, I know I base my truth off of what I do and how the reaction is. So if I'm drinking a gallon of water and my brain feels good, then
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Straight up.
If I
There you
drink,
go.
I eat Annie's pretzel and
Yeah.
I eat, a soda, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. And I feel like, damn, why I feel like this?
Yeah.
I know it's
Don't
wrong,
do that
bro.
again. That's
I know
that.
it's wrong.
But is that potentially also driven by your thoughts and your belief system?
No.
Because
No,
No,
I
'cause
think
that's
your
a
body
phys- yeah.
talks to you.
Yeah.
Your
But
body
that's a
tell you what it
chemical.
wants.
But true, but
And-
your body also responds to your thoughts and your behaviors, though, right?
It's just a chemical, though. Your
so-
body feels a physical feeling.
So you feel like, so if everybody's different, then it's like that. Why? So some people are meant to live a certain way, believe in certain thought patterns and beliefs, and eat a certain type of way, and others are not. That kind of makes it an intriguing conundrum because we can. Then it's difficult for us to actually give other people advice and counsel.
That's exactly
It's almost like
right.
you can't sit here and say, hey.
What works
people
for
must be
you
vegan.
is
Like-
not going to work for
Like
me.
exactly what Dr. Sebi's has taught people may not work for some other people. It may work for those people that are vibrating like him or created like him, but it's not a universal thing for everybody. Is
Yeah.
that really what
But I
we're
think it's a
saying here?
general sense of health and
Yeah.
wellness. It's like the general. We know that this is good and this affects the body in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think when it comes to Dr. Sebi, like he's going. The thing is for us to stop using using products that's processed.
Processed foods and all this stuff. Yeah.
Processed
Yeah.
foods.
Yeah.
It's like eat healthy, eat natural foods. Everything we
Yeah.
need is right here in the earth. We don't have to
Yes.
go and do it's all here. And if
Yes.
we take advantage of this, I think that's what Dr. Sebi is doing.
Yeah, I think it's built on business.
Yeah.
it's
And
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's not all mental. So in the
Yeah.
business world, in order for you to handle business,
Yeah.
you have to lure people into why that brand is great.
Right.
So if my profit is to make a chicken sandwich
Yes.
without chicken, but still be able to get you to
Right.
come,
Yeah.
that's the business of
Because
it.
everything is a
Yeah.
capitalistic
That is deep because
society.
I remember when the whole gooey scandal came out with McDonald's with
Yeah.
the pink paste and
Yeah,
stuff.
it wasn't
Yeah.
real
with
chicken.
the nuggets. I remember literally like a month later driving by McDonald's. It said nuggets now with real chicken,
Like-
and the cars were wrapped
What
around.
was I
like,
eating before?
That's what I'm saying. Like, but it was the line was out, pushing back
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
But I'm like literally people are like, oh, we're gonna run to McDonald's to get this new real chicken now.
Right.
Right. It's so deep, like from a
Yeah,
capitalistic perspective.
I always
right?
had a problem with people that preached too, and it
Yeah.
sounds crazy.
Mm.
So when I mean preach, I mean
Yeah.
people that are enforcing their thought
Beliefs
process
and-
on us.
Mm.
So when I'm giving advice, it's just in what I did and not what you should do.
Mm.
And that's the issue I'm coming up with when you see these doctors or you see these people on Instagram that's telling you, giving you financial or
Yeah.
health advice. They're telling you what
Well,
you should do instead of saying what I did was this. I don't know if it's going to help you. I could
Right.
you like the way
That's
I look.
deep.
I did this.
Yeah.
It's on you to
Right.
Yeah.
figure it out. If you say, "Oh, you lost a lot of
Yeah.
weight. How'd you do it?"
I was just- we
well, I
just
boxed,
talking about
drank
that.
water, and,
Yeah.
and
Right.
ate salad. That's what I did.
That's
Wow.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Be an example. You don't have to do it.
That's all I'm saying.
It may not resonate with everybody.
Yeah.
But it may resonate with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People.
I can't respect people who's coming to me and be like, you need to go to the Lord. It's like, why?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I can figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a conversation and it's like, man, I seen you change your life around. How'd you do it, man? I start praying 5 times a day. I may take to that advice like, oh, I might take 5 pray. I might get some peace in that. That's how the exchange of energy is supposed to happen. It's not supposed to, like, you're never supposed to come to me like, yo, bro, I got migraines.
Exactly.
And I'm supposed to say, yo, eat some apples.
Right.
I can tell you, hey, when I used to have migraines, I ate a couple apples and it stopped my headaches. I don't know if that'll work for you.
There
That's
you go.
the exchange of energy we
Suggestive,
need to
yeah.
be in moving towards the future. That's all I'm in, you know.
That's
That's
right.
powerful. You know,
That's very powerful.
I know you brought up Tupac earlier, and I remember, you know, one of my favorite songs is "Changes." You know, and he talks about how, you know, he says something like, "It's time to change the way we live." Actually, no, he says it's time to change the way we eat, the way we live, and the way we treat each other.
That's
We
right.
see that the old way wasn't working.
That's
So it's
right.
on us to do what we got to do to survive.
That's right.
It's like you said earlier. It's like, it's really, we got to be aware and conscious of what we need to do to ensure that we uplift our people collectively.
That is a good example. Tupac, for many years, I didn't like Tupac because I felt it was preachy. And once I dug in and figured out, oh, it's not preachy. He's talking about what he went through
Exactly.
in that situation. Same thing with Jay-Z. Some people may not like Jay-Z because they feel like it's arrogant.
Yeah.
But not once did he say, y'all need to do this.
Right.
Nah.
He's saying what I did.
That's
Exactly.
right.
So I'm like, I really like those examples.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just became a Tupac fan within the past 3 years.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what's up.
Yeah, I like the
That's up.
songs, but
Yeah.
I didn't buy into it
Yeah.
being what it was. It's funny as it sound. DMX was in the same vein, and I like DMX, but I think that the conviction in what he was telling us
Yeah.
was different for me than
Yeah.
Tupac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I saw so many facets of Tupac, I saw him in these squirrels, and then he was positive, and then it was
Exactly.
this.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
But he
You
just
know,
speaking his experience.
Exactly.
and
yeah,
how,
like
you
I
know,
never
how he went through
understood,
it.
like going on record right now, never heard that "Dear Mama" in every city we go, I see the same hoe is in the same sentence. Like that's in the same body of work.
Yeah.
Right.
That's deep.
It
Yeah.
messed me up. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, you know, Brenda's got a baby.
Brenda's
Then it's
got a
like every
baby.
city we go, same hoes. Then you like, that's why I fucked your bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm confused on where we going with it. And then he's like, my mama did. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is all this. What we
Yeah.
talking about? Or then,
Exactly.
you know, we need to stop killing ourselves. And I was like, fuck the cops.
Shoot 'em
Shoot 'em.
up.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh shit.
Hit 'em up.
I was confused. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm with you.
that's where the contradictory of
Yeah.
it I learned later. It was like, oh, he was a multi
All of that.
Faceted.
faceted person.
All of
Like
that.
he had a lot of different things.
Yeah.
4 demons, 4 angels,
Exactly.
5. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I understand the battle that he had to go through. Like he was
Exactly.
fighting for existence.
Exactly.
So that's when I learned, like, oh, though I like dude. You know, what I
Like a
mean?
lot of us
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us
There you
are.
go.
Straight up.
Like a lot of us are.
I hear the, you know,
Yeah.
the beats playing in the background.
Well,
Never
man, we
come up
gotta
in
be.
time.
We're very thankful for legendary Cannon,
No doubt,
Don
no
Cannon,
doubt,
to
no
come
doubt.
and visit us, man,
doubt.
and share your expertise and
No
wisdom,
doubt.
man.
No doubt.
Well, we gotta have you back.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can
We
do it
definitely
again.
gotta have you
So where
back,
can people
man.
follow you, learn more about you and what you're doing, and support, you know, everything you have going on?
It's straight Don Cannon on all platforms. If you want to join the Tomorrow app, you can go to Tomorrow app Instagram, check it out. See the outreach and the education we're doing. We're doing with high level execs all the way down to low level execs,
Okay.
helping them learn creatives and just telling
Okay.
people's story. You could go download the Tomorrow app. It's on the Apple Store. We got a website. Go check out all that. Again, you can hit me up anytime on Instagram or Twitter. I'm always responding. That's it.
Much love, bro.
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Appreciate you, man. And we out of here,
Oh,
y'all.